You are looking at a picture of Lady Ada Lovelace, often called the world's first computer programmer. She's standing next to her invention, the analytical engine, a very rudimentary computer. So let's say I wanted to use this image in my actual web page. Well, I can't just put the image into my web page with HTML before making sure the image is prepared correctly. So I'm in Photoshop, a program that's used to manipulate photos. There's also some free programs that do a lot of what Photoshop does as well. Photoshop's part of Adobe's cloud package. So here I'm looking at the image, and it looks fine, but in reality, it's got a problem. Let's go ahead and here in Photoshop, I'm going to go to Image and Image Size. And notice that the image is 71 inches wide and 71 inches tall at a resolution of 72 pixels per inch. This is much too big for the screen. It's 5,120 pixels by 5,120 pixels, much bigger than the screen resolution that I have. Matter of fact, the screen that you're looking at that shows my Photoshop interface is only 720 pixels across. The reason that the image is not filling the screen now is we're only showing it at 8.33% magnification. So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce this image to an appropriate size for the screen. So you'll notice it is 72 pixels an inch. So that's actually the correct resolution we want. We need to reduce its size. I want to reduce it so it's about 300 pixels wide by 300 pixels high. So I'm simply going to type 300. I'm going to leave everything else alone, and I'm going to click OK. Now, since we're still at 8.33%, the image is going to appear much smaller, too small to use. So we're going to magnify the image back to 100%, just like that by double-clicking the magnifying glass. Now, this is 100%, says 100% right here. This looks like the perfect size for my web page. So let's go ahead and save this. Now, when you're saving images for the web, they got to be saved a certain way. If you have a digital camera, you're probably familiar with JPEG photos. And JPEG is a way that we can save images and have them appear within a web browser or mobile device. So I could just save this again under its original title, ada.jpg. It was originally a JPEG. But what I want to do is I want to optimize this for the best result for the actual file size. So let's choose Save for the Web. And you're almost able to see this entire interface. But notice the original ada.jpg is 264K. Now, if you're on a slow 3G phone, this is going to take a long time to download. Not that long, but probably too long. So what we want to do is find a good quality, not perfect quality, but a quality that's lower, perhaps imperceptible to the eye, but uses less file size. So notice here at an 80 quality, it's 58.96K. Now, just for illustration, I'm going to bring the quality all the way down to 10. And you may not be able to see on your screen, but the image has degraded quite a bit, especially if you look here where it says the analytical engine. That text is almost impossible to read. Now, what JPEGs do is they reduce the file size by making adjacent similarly colored pixels are made the same, which at really, really low quality makes the image appear slightly pixelated. Now, JPEG is just one option. We actually also can choose, instead of JPEG, here's 5 quality. It's only 10K at 5 quality, but definitely going to be some problems with the overall quality. Let's also try a PNG file. Now, there's Ping 8 and Ping 24. Ping 8 is only 256 colors. A Ping 24 gives you all the colors. Now, notice the Ping 24 is 191K, so not much reduced from the original 264. If we do a Ping 8, the quality is reduced quite a bit because we actually only use 256 colors. And it's still 66K, so I'd say a Ping is probably not appropriate for this particular image. So let's switch it back to a JPEG. PNG, JPEG are basically your choices for this type of image. There's another format called GIF, GIF, that's really appropriate for less photographic images, more line art images like logos. So 2 quality is too low. Let's set the quality to around, let's see what we get around 50. There we go. So that gives us 28.1K, 6 seconds on a 56K connection. But on a faster connection, like what you might have at DSL, it's going to take just 2 seconds. At a full cable, just 1 second. So depending on the speed that we desire here, this is at 28.8, maybe a weak 3G, and this is kind of a stronger 3G, you can see that the quality is still pretty good, 28.1K. I think we're going to use that one, so I'm going to click it, and I'm going to click Save, and we're going to save this over the original file as ada.jpg. We'll replace it. So now I'm done optimizing my photo. My photo is ready to go into my document. So first of all, here is my document, firstfile.html, a file I created earlier. And there's ada.jpg. So in order to display the image, I'm going to write a little HTML. I'm going to use the image tag, image, and then the source attribute, src, and then the name of the file that I'm trying to display. Now, you may notice I did something a little different right here, is I didn't place a closing tag. There's no /img. What I did was I opened and closed the tag at the same time using this shortcut right here. Backslash is the same thing as doing this. How do we get a closing body in there? There we go. That's what we want. So that's obviously a little bit longer than what I had before, so I'll take this out. And we'll just use the shortcut close. This is also known as an empty tag. You'll see that technique a lot. Notice my development environment, when I mouse over the file name, shows me a preview of the actual image. All right, so let's go ahead and launch our live preview. And let's take a look at how this looks in the browser. So there's our browser. And there under the copyright is our picture of Lady Ada Lovelace. Now let's say we wanted to add a caption to the picture. So I'm going to put underneath the picture here a caption. And actually, let's move the image above our footer. It doesn't make sense to have anything below the footer. So we'll just edit like that. And we'll put our image right there. Just use copy and paste. Now I'm going to use the caption tag, and I'm going to say Lady Ada Lovelace. And I'll save, and let's see how this looks here. So notice that Lady Ada Lovelace, our caption, ended up next to the image. And that's because we didn't have anything in our HTML to tell it to move down a line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, right here after our image, a break. And notice when I did that, now our caption is below the image right where it should be. So we've got our image of Lady Ada Lovelace and our caption. Now, if I want to put this as a set of items, I can actually make this what's called a logical division. That's the div tag. I just mistyped it. So now, this div or division includes the image and the caption. Now, again, this is not going to change how anything's displayed. Notice it's exactly the same, but it lets me identify this division for formatting later. So let's say I said ID equals image Ada. So I've identified this division as the image of Lady Ada Lovelace. Fix my indentation there. Now, if I wanted to, I could format these two items or this div separately from the rest of the page using cascading style sheets. You'll see divs used quite a bit. So we've got our image, we've got our caption. Now, there's one more thing I should do, and that's to make this more accessible. Some people might surf the web through some type of mediated means. Maybe they have a visual impairment and they need a screen reader to read to them. Well, the screen reader wouldn't know what this is. It sees that that's basically an image, but it couldn't interpret the image and think, oh, that's Lady Ada Lovelace. So let's go ahead and add an alt. So in here, I'm going to put alt equals Lady Ada Lovelace with her rudimentary computer. Perfect. So now we've got an alt tag, and someone using some type of mediated device to see the web page would be able to see what this image is because it would be read by the screen reader. So there we've got our rudimentary page with an image.